Morning, Steve Free in Chicago with the morning grain comments. Well, I think the big news overnight was that Ted Cruz won the Iowa caucus. He's been opposing ethanol and probably the only Republican candidate that has that stance. So it's kind of interesting that the number one corn state actually elected him or gave him the delegates for the election. So that's going to be kind of interesting down the road and see just how he carries the momentum forward. The Democratic race is too close to call, and so that's kind of interesting also as they go to New Hampshire, what that means to that part of the election. As far as prices overnight, grains are unchanged. I think that the market is still kind of feeling in the dark to try to find a value. March beans are around $8.80. We really don't need to trade above $9 because we'd get into farmers selling, and also the Brazilian harvest is advancing right now at about 4% done versus 6 average. There was a private group that estimated the crop up 1 million tons from their previous estimate at 98 million tons, and the USDA is at 100 million tons. So a little bit better weather in the northern Brazil is probably going to help harvest and help loadings of vessels of beans out of Brazil. That same group estimates the corn crop up 2 million tons at 83 million tons with 12% of the crop harvested. While we're still talking about South America, the recent dryness there could impact some of their crops. 30 to 40% of the corn is pollinating. The grain exchange down there said 8% of the crop is suffering from drought. But the private estimates are still holding on that the bean crop is 59 million tons and that the corn crop is just under 24 million tons. Kansas crop ratings increased 1% to 55% to good to excellent. Illinois ratings went up last month. Nebraska, Oklahoma, and Texas ratings were actually down from last month. Today, a winter storm is moving across much of the western Midwest. The east Midwest will get rains. The 2-week forecast outlook calls for below normal temps and below normal rains. Funds still short about 22,000 beans, 77,000 corns, and 50,000 wheat. March corn's at 360. We don't need to trade over 380 because we'll buy from the farmer. We don't really need to trade much below, let's say 340, because that would slow farmers selling. March wheat is at 474. The big news yesterday was that Egypt there was no offers for the Egyptian tender, so they canceled their tender, and Iran announced that they were not going to buy wheat this year. So those things offered resistance to the wheat market. As always, these are my thoughts and not those of ADM or ADM Investor Services. Have a safe and profitable trading day.